The following episode has been paid for by the New World Order. Welcome everybody to this installment of Dad's on Wrestling. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
And I am Jeff Meacham, and if you don't know that, then I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
That's right.
But if you don't know that, why are you on my YouTube channel? Go away.
Yeah.
By the way, NWO paid for this channel, so get away. Story.
Today's topic, here in December.
In December. We are in December, that's right.
Hence my nice little hoodie to
Yeah,
stay
it's
warm.
chilly in here for, being so close to December. It's, May. It's chilly. It's chilly.
It's not even Christmas in July, it's Christmas in May.
I know, seriously. It's actually been weird weather day here in
Yeah, it really
Long
has.
Beach.
It's almost been winterish weather.
Yeah, because
today.
it was started out muggy this morning, and it just got chilly. It was like, the hell, no wonder my son's sick with an ear infection. Poor little thing.
So Rex Christopherson at Rexo 1991.
A frequent contributor to the Jazz Wrestling channel. Whatever, I'm mushmouth. Just JD run the show today. I'm just going to chime in when I can.
Okay. He wants to know the top 10 faces and heels of all time.
Now, rather than rattle off 40 names,
Yes.
we have a collaborative effort here, as we always do. Because we can. Shall we do bad guys or good guys first?
I say we do bad guys first, but I want to throw out there that there's two honorable mentions we just have to tackle right now, and that's Austin and Taker. They didn't make it onto either one of the lists, but both of them are awesome both ways.
Yes. Stone Cold's 2001 heel run notwithstanding.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, but in WCW, Hollywood Blonde's heel Austin, he was phenomenal.
Yep.
I think part of why I didn't want to put him on the baby face is because he was more of an anti-hero
Yes, exactly.
than a baby face.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Taker, he had good runs as both, but we were discussing this in the pre-show, and his definitive heel run was during the Ministry storyline.
Yes.
Which didn't even last him a year.
Yep. By the time he got hurt and took that time off, the Ministry was a shell of itself anyway.
Yeah.
They were the unholy alliance, him and Big Show. There was no Ministry to speak of, because the corporate Ministry had dissolved because Mr. McMahon was on television. So, from late November 98 until fully loaded 99, Undertaker was the heel in the company. And
but when your definitive heel run lasts less than a year, how are you going to put him onto the top heels of all time?
And again, he's been a babyface since he came back at 20. He hasn't turned to the dark side, since then. So he's had a good, solid 10 years.
Brief heel reaction when he buried Paul Bearer.
Right, but that was that was almost a, we understand.
Yeah.
You can't have a liability anymore.
Yeah, the concrete crypt.
Right.
But, so we want to get those on the table right now so y'all don't lynch us.
For not putting them on the list, because they are great. Both of them as both sides. But not top 10. And again,
in our
it's
opinion.
our opinion. And again, we spent the better part of a half hour going over this entire list, both sides.
Really hashing this out. I really dominated the babyface and Jeff really dominated the heel.
Yes.
Which is funny because we both love the heels more anyways.
Yeah.
But, NWO we know. Number 10 on the heel list is Chris Jericho. Now we're talking the Nick Bockwinkel-esque
Chris
Jericho. The gelatinous parasites.
Yes. Jericho, when he turned on Shawn Michaels and threw him through the Juratron 5000.
Causing Shawn permanent googly eye.
Seriously. That Chris Jericho run until the end of his real big run in WWE really cemented him as a top tier bad dude.
Yeah, and he's had heel runs before in WCW and when he first came to WWF. But that was his definitive heel.
And he was a great bad guy. Absolutely phenomenal.
Number 9 on the heels is Edge, the rated R superstar Edge. We're talking the Edge that, cashed in that screwed Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
All the way up until pretty much he had to leave, until he got injured, came back at the Rumble, and had that run towards Jericho, which he lost.
Right.
That period of time.
2004, 2003 to like 2010. Yeah.
2005.
Well, because he turned 2004.
Yeah, but 2005 is where the thing really kind of started to hit steam with the whole Matt Hardy thing.
And they won Money in the Bank.
That's where his heel run really took off, is when he fucked over his best friend in real life.
Right. Okay. But the Rated R Superstar, there was no hotter a heel in WWE than Edge.
Yeah. This one I'm going to let you talk a little bit more about, because I didn't watch WCW when he was around, and that's Big Van Vader at number 8.
Yeah, Vader was the first real all-powerful monster super heel. Vader was the guy that ended careers. Vader was the guy that paralyzed a jobber from the waist down for a few minutes, but with a powerbomb. Vader was the guy that took Sting out of the company, that took Ron Simmons out of the company, that caused Cactus Jack to have amnesia, that just did all these vile, brutal, nasty things. And with Harley Race, the evil bastard that he was, guiding the ship, Vader was just a bad motherfucker. And I'm saying
cost Cactus his ear in Japan.
Exactly.
Or Germany, wherever it was.
Germany. Vader was a bad dude, and it took Vince McMahon cartooning his ass up to ruin him. But until he left for WWF, Vader was the heel. There was nobody that could stop Vader.
Yeah.
Ric Flair got lucky at Starrcade.
Number 7, Raven. Specifically his ECW run pre-WCW. Because when he came back in '99 and him and Dreamer were champions, it was like, it was okay, but it wasn't as great as it was when it was him and Raven, or him and Dreamer just beating up each other in the territory.
Raven and Stevie, Raven and Beulah, Raven and the Pitbulls, Raven and, the whole mess.
And I'll even give a little bit into his WCW run with the Flock.
Right. But Raven had a mind for the business that only was rivaled by Jake the Snake Roberts. And Raven tapped into the deepest, darkest part of our souls. Yeah. He turned Sandman's 7-year-old son against him. He crucified the Sandman in the middle of ECW arena and turned Kurt Angle away from it as a result. He caused people to lose sleep and made no bones about it. Raven was eerie, he was mean, he was vile.
Yeah. And I loved every minute of it.
Absolutely.
Number 6, the halfway point, the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, okay. And we originally didn't have them on the list. Then I had a fucking epiphany sitting over here across from me, because he was on the couch over there. Like, why are the Dudleys on this list? The Dudleys were the most vile, disgusting, brutal, bottom-feeding, trash bag, not hoes, in ECW history. In ECW history. They were more vile than Raven. They were more brutal than the Sinister Minister. They were more disgusting than the Blue Meanie. They were just bad dudes. They would incite riots.
Oh, yeah.
They went to Dayton, Ohio, and almost caused the place to shut down.
And they were this close to delivering the ECW Tag Team titles to Vince McMahon's desk.
Seriously. There's nothing more evil in the eyes of an ECW faithful in Queens, New York, than to threaten to take their tag straps to Vince McMahon's office.
And it wasn't until Tommy Dreamer stepped up without a partner, and Raven came at the last minute, that they made sure that they secured
the Dudley's 3D. Beulah McGillicuddy broke her neck and didn't even have fucking remorse about it. They ended her career.
Until she came back in One Night Stand.
Right. They were vile bastards. The whole lot of them, but especially Bubba and Devon.
Number 5. I'm once again just going to turn the whole floor over to you since you're rocking the shirt. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Hollywood Hogan was the epitome of a bad guy. He was just not a nice person. And considering the the ridiculous switch and turnaround from 12 years of say your prayers, take your vitamins, believe in yourself, and train to stick it. It's all about me. It always has been about me. It always will be about me. They all fall in line behind me. JJ brought up a good point. He was trying to put the whole NWO as a group at this spot, or at least Hogan Hall match.
Yeah, the original three.
Original three. And I brought up a point that Hogan himself made. Hall and Nash were cool and easy to like because they were cool from up north. They were WWF superstars, and they had the badass renegade side of them.
Putting me over?
Whereas Hogan was branded with Titan Sports through and through. Everybody at WCW hated him when he showed up 2 years prior. You're going to come save our company? Fuck you. Go away. We don't need you. They did, but Hollywood Hogan turned every single Southern fan on their ass like, all right, you want to boo me? Fuck you. I'll give you a reason to boo me. And I think 3 people on the planet didn't stop cheering for him, and I was one of them. Because it was cool.
Blaine was 2.
Blaine was 2. There you go.
I don't know who the third one is.
Probably
Nick Hogan.
Probably Nick Hogan, yeah. Because even Brooke was mad, because Brooke was just crazy. Brooke's crazy, but next one putting people in comas. What do I know? Whatever. But Hollywood Hogan was just dastardly and had no qualms about screwing his own brethren over to get ahead for himself.
Brooke, who didn't look like a teenage prostitute then.
That's right. But Hollywood Hogan would screw over his own NWO guy, Randy Savage. He would put Kevin Nash on the back burner. He beat up the booty man, Brutus Beefcake, 2 years prior, and then Beefcake still came running back and became the disciple. That's how manipulative Hollywood Hogan was.
Number 4, the cerebral assassin, the Game, Triple H. And again, you've got to start this heel run with him turning on DX at WrestleMania 15 and aligning with the corporation.
Yes.
All the way up until basically he reformed DX in 06 with Shawn.
Right. Because he did have a brief babyface run when he came back from the quad injury.
But it didn't last long.
It didn't last long. And we all knew it wouldn't last long.
Because he's just that good as a heel.
Yeah, Triple H is, in my opinion, the best heel of the modern age.
I can give you that.
He is this generation.
Look at who his inspiration was.
Yeah, he's this generation. I was just going to say, our number 1, we'll get there. But he is this generation's that guy.
Yeah.
By far. And not even this generation, because this generation is more the C Nation, but like
our generation.
Our generation, exactly. He was the bad guy. He turned on DX. He turned Stephanie against her father. He masterminded the plot to run down Steve Austin. He ran the company and ran Vince away from his own company. He was just a bad person. Straight up. And he's a bad person now on TV to this day.
Number 3 is his father-in-law, Vince McMahon.
There you go. And again, who would ever thought the white meat, babyface, goody two-shoes Vince McMahon announcer would become the 3rd top heel in our list?
Yeah. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering why he's not number 1, because McMahon Austin got so many miles and helped get WWE back into the lead in the race. But when you hear who number 2 and 1 are, I think you'll sit there and go,
all right.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. But Mr. McMahon, since 1998...
97, Brett screwed Brett.
Right, but he really didn't turn heel until he feuded with Austin. So, since 1998, so the better part of the last 14 years has been a consistently just bad person.
He's had a few peaks in there as babyface.
Right, but for the most part,
majority, yeah.
He's been an evil, vile company owner.
Now, for me, number 2 and number 1 could be interchanged.
Yes.
Jeff is the one who put them in the order that they are. I concede that, but you could definitely argue either one.
Yes.
So at number 2, we have the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper.
And, you know, Roddy said this in his Halloween Havoc promo against Hogan. Do you think people would have showed up at WrestleMania if they didn't want to see you kick my butt so bad?
And that's the philosophy I've always subscribed to.
Roddy would incite. Roddy got stabbed for being a riotous asshole.
WrestleMania was not a success on the strength of Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania was a success on the strength of the fans wanting to see Hulk Hogan kick Roddy Piper's ass.
Yes.
Bottom line.
I agree.
And number one is the Nature Boy, the dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair.
And Ric Flair was the blueprint for the classic heel.
Triple H. Our generation's Ric Flair's, who he was trying to not give away with, too early there. Prematurely.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ric Flair, and you can even add "and the Four Horsemen."
Yeah, because Tully was an evil son of a bitch. Holy was evil.
Because it didn't matter if Flair was solo or with them. He was a bad motherfucker.
That's right.
He was Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
That's right. Absolutely.
Now, before we get to the baby faces, we have a couple heel honorable mentions. Rick Rude.
Yeah, Ravishing Rick Rude was never a babyface, to my recollection. And there was a reason for that, because he was good looking, he was good in the ring, and above all, he fucking knew it.
The Rock, specifically his Nation era and his Hollywood era.
Yeah. Because nobody was more hated in 1997 than Rocky Maivia.
And that wasn't even by design. That was just because the fans didn't care.
The gimmick was so shitty.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah. Jake the Snake, again, like Raven, just an evil mindfucker.
And Randy Orton.
Especially post, I want to say like the 2007 and beyond Randy Orton.
The legacy Age of Orton.
Age of Orton, yeah. Not so much when he turned on Stacy, and not so much when he was in Evolution, because he was just Triple H's pawn in Evolution. Yeah. But once the Age of Orton started, once he got the vacant title from Cena at No Mercy 07, from that point forward, except for a few blips here and there in between, he's been just an evil, dastardly son of a bitch.